I'm standing at the airport gate when my boarding pass suddenly turns red. The agent frowns, tapping her screen twice. "Sir, this ticket was canceled an hour ago." My stomach drops. "What? That's impossible. I just checked in online this morning." She shows me the screen. "Cancellation confirmed. Refund processed. My name, Daniel Hayes, right there in bold letters." I step aside, hands shaking as I call my wife. "Hey," Amber answers, her voice casual, almost cheerful. "My flight was canceled," I say, trying to stay calm. "Did something happen with the credit card?" "Oh, yeah. I changed my mind." The words hit me like ice water. "Changed your mind? About what?" "About you coming home today. I need space. I don't want to deal with you yet." She says it so casually, like she's ordering coffee. I stand there speechless. People flow around me, rolling luggage, checking phones. "Amber, my hotel checkout was this morning. My bags are already checked in. What am I supposed to?" "Just book another one yourself," she interrupts. Then she hangs up. I stare at my phone, replaying the conversation in my head. She canceled my flight. On purpose. Because she needed space. We'd argued before I left for this business trip, something about me working too much, not being present. But this was deliberate sabotage. I try calling back. It goes straight to voicemail. The gate agent watches me with sympathy. "Sir, do you need help rebooking?" "Yeah," I mutter. "Let me just..." I pull up the airline app, searching for the next available flight. There's one in 3 hours. Perfect. I enter my credit card information. Payment declined. I try again. Declined. My chest tightens. I switch to the banking app and my blood runs cold. My daily spending limit has been lowered to $50. By Amber. She has access to our joint account settings. We'd set it up that way for convenience so either of us could manage things. I never imagined she'd use it like this. She didn't just cancel my flight. She trapped me here. I sink into an airport chair, luggage at my feet. This wasn't anger. This was planned. I sit on the hard airport floor, back against a wall, trying to process everything. Around me, travelers rush past with purpose. I have nowhere to go. My phone buzzes. A notification from Instagram. I open it numbly and there's Amber's story. A photo of a cocktail, condensation running down the glass. The next slide shows her laughing with friends. A man's hand is visible in the frame, reaching for his own drink, expensive watch glinting. The caption reads, "Finally relaxing with good company." My jaw clenches. She told me she was staying with her friend Jenna, that she needed time alone to think. But this doesn't look like Jenna's apartment. And Jenna doesn't wear men's watches. I screenshot everything. Something in my gut tells me to document this. Then I notice the watch more carefully. Silver band, distinctive blue face. I know that watch. It's Ryan's. Her work friend Ryan. The one she always said I was being paranoid about. I close Instagram and open my messages. No explanations from Amber. No apologies. Nothing. I stop calling her. I stop texting her. Instead, I start screenshotting everything. I sit there for another 20 minutes, mind racing. Then something clicks. This didn't start today. The pieces fall into place like a puzzle I'd been ignoring. The late nights at the office. The phone calls she'd take in another room. The way she'd angle her screen away when I walked by. The sudden interest in girls' weekends and after-work events. Last month, I'd noticed a charge on our credit card for a hotel downtown. When I asked about it, she said it was for a team-building retreat. I believed her. 2 weeks ago, I found a receipt in her coat pocket from an expensive restaurant we'd never been to together. She laughed it off, said it was a client dinner. I pushed down my suspicions. Told myself I was being paranoid. Trusted her. But I hadn't been idle. Not completely. 3 months ago, something felt off enough that I started a folder on my laptop. Nothing dramatic. Just dates that didn't add up, screenshots of unusual expenses, times she said she'd be one place but her location showed another. I told myself I was crazy. That I'd delete it all once things felt normal again. Now, sitting on this airport floor, I realized she thought I was oblivious. I wasn't. I pull out my phone and open my email, finding the boarding pass confirmation. I forward it to myself with a timestamp. Then I screenshot our text exchange, her casual dismissal, the hang-up. Next, I check our credit card activity. There's the flight cancellation. 1 hour before my boarding time. And there's another charge from this morning. Flowers. Expensive ones. Delivered to our house. For herself? Or for someone else? I save everything to a cloud folder. My hands are steady now. The shock is fading, replaced by cold clarity. Another Instagram story appears. Amber's tagged at a restaurant downtown. The kind of place with dim lighting and craft cocktails. Ryan's in the photo this time, sitting across from her, both of them laughing. She's not staying with Jenna. She's with him. I close my eyes and take a breath. Getting angry won't help, but getting smart will. I open a new browser and search for car rentals. I'm not going to sit here begging for a flight home. I have a better idea. I rent a car, a modest sedan, nothing fancy. It costs more than I'd like, but I still have my personal credit card. The one Amber doesn't have access to. I drive away from the airport, heading not toward home, but toward the city where my old friend works. My lawyer friend. His name is Connor Blake. We went to college together, stayed close over the years. He's a family law attorney now, successful and sharp. I've got a 7-hour drive ahead of me. That gives me plenty of time to think. As the highway stretches out before me, I replay the last 6 months in my head. Every excuse. Every late night. Every time she accused me of being paranoid or controlling when I asked simple questions. She'd flipped the script, made me feel guilty for noticing the obvious. And all the while she'd been planning. Not just the affair, if that's what this is, but this specific cruelty. Canceling my flight. Cutting off my money. Leaving me stranded. She wanted me to feel powerless. But she made one critical mistake. She assumed I'd panic. That I'd come crawling back, desperate and apologetic. I won't. I text Connor, in town tomorrow. Free for lunch. He replies within minutes. Always. Everything okay? Not really. Need advice. Say less. I'll clear my schedule. The miles pass in a blur. I stop once for gas and coffee, stretching my legs in a rest area parking lot. My phone buzzes with a notification. Amber posted another story. I don't open it. By the time I pull into Connor's city, the sun is setting. I check into a budget hotel, the kind with thin walls and instant coffee. I don't care. I just need a place to sleep. That night, I organize everything in my cloud folder. Screenshots, receipts, dates, times. The cancellation email. The lowered spending limit. Her Instagram post with timestamps. Connor's words from a past conversation echo in my mind. In family law, documentation is everything. Whoever has the clearest timeline wins. I fall asleep with my laptop open, the glow of the screen casting shadows on the wall. Tomorrow I'll hear what Connor has to say, and then I'll decide my next move. Connor meets me at a quiet cafe downtown. He's wearing a suit, fresh from a morning meeting, but he ditches the tie and orders us both sandwiches. So, he says, leaning back in his chair. What's going on? I explain everything. The canceled flight, the spending limit, the Instagram posts, the watch, Ryan. Connor listens without interrupting, his expression neutral but focused. When I finish, he's quiet for a moment. Then he leans forward. Don't confront her yet. I blink. What? I mean it, Daniel. Don't call her, don't text her about Ryan, don't accuse her of anything. Not yet. Why not? Because right now you have leverage. She thinks you're scrambling, desperate to get home. She thinks she's in control. He taps the table. But you're not scrambling. You're documenting. And that's power. So what do I do? Connor pulls out a notepad. First, we secure your finances. You said she has access to the joint account. Yeah. How much is in there? About 30,000. His eyebrows rise. Okay, here's what you do. Move half of it, legally, into a separate account. Not all of it, just half. You're entitled to it. Do it today. Won't that provoke her? I ask. Connor shakes his head. Not if you do it quietly. She's busy with Ryan, remember? She's not checking the account every hour. And even if she notices, you're protected. It's a joint account. You have every legal right to move your share. He scribbles notes. What else do you have? Documentation-wise. I show him my cloud folder. He scrolls through, nodding. This is good. Really good. Timestamps, her own social media posts, the flight cancellation, the spending limit change. This paints a clear picture of financial control and possible infidelity. Possible? We don't have proof of the affair yet. Just circumstantial evidence. But combined with everything else, the control, the cruelty, the public flaunting, it builds a narrative. He looks up at me. Here's what matters, timing. If you confront her now, she'll scramble. Delete posts, create excuses, turn it around on you. But if you wait, gather more, and then strike when you're ready, she won't see it coming. I exhale slowly. So I just let her think she's winning? Exactly. And while she thinks that, you prepare. Connor closes his notepad. One more thing. Don't move out of the house when you get back. Stay. Document everything. If she wants you gone, make her say it. On record. I leave the cafe with a plan. First stop, the bank. I transfer $15,000 into a new individual account. It feels strange, almost wrong, but Connor's words echo, "You're entitled to it." I watch the transaction process. Completed. Next, I check Amber's Instagram again. She's posted a photo from earlier today. Brunch, mimosas, Ryan's arm casually draped over the back of her chair. The comments are full of her friends. "You deserve this. Self-care queen." One even says, "Finally putting yourself first." None of them know I'm stranded at an airport because she sabotaged me. Or maybe they do and they don't care. I screenshot the post and add it to my folder. That evening, I sit in the hotel room and map out my drive home. It's another 6 hours. I'll arrive tomorrow, a full day earlier than Amber expects. She thinks I'm still stuck at the airport helpless. She's wrong. I text her, "Finally got a flight sorted. Should be home in a couple days." She doesn't reply. I smile grimly. Let her think I'm scrambling. Let her enjoy her time with Ryan. Because when I walk through that door, everything changes. I arrive home the next afternoon. The house is empty. No sign of Amber. I check the driveway, her car is gone. I unlock the door and step inside. Everything looks normal. Too normal. I walk through the living room, the kitchen. Her suitcase is missing from the closet. She's staying somewhere else. But Ryan's jacket, dark leather, expensive, is draped over the back of my chair. My chair. The disrespect burns, but I don't touch it. Instead, I pull out my phone and take photos. The jacket, the empty closet, the dishes in the sink from a meal I didn't eat. Then I check the security camera. We installed one last year after a break-in scare in the neighborhood. It's discreet, tucked in the corner of the living room. Amber didn't think about it much after the first week. But I did. I pull up the app and scroll through the footage from the past 3 days. My stomach knots as I watch. Amber and Ryan. Entering together. Laughing. Pouring wine. Sitting too close on the couch. I fast forward. They're still there hours later. The footage is damning. I keep watching. The next clip is worse. They're sitting on my couch, drinking wine from my glasses. Amber leans into Ryan, her head on his shoulder. He whispers something and she laughs, a laugh I haven't heard in months. Then she says it. Clear as day, picked up by the camera's audio. I canceled his flight so I'd have time to figure things out. Ryan shifts, looking uneasy. What if he finds out? Amber waves him off. He won't do anything. Daniel never does. The words hit me like a punch. She's so certain. So smug. I pause the video and stare at her frozen face on the screen. The woman I married. The woman who promised to stand by me. The woman who just called me predictable and weak. Something inside me clicks off. Not anger. Not even hurt. Just nothing. Cold. Clear. Final. I save the footage to 3 separate drives. I text Connor, got the proof. His reply is instant, don't do anything yet. Let me review it first. I don't respond. I just sit there in the silent house, surrounded by evidence of my wife's betrayal, and I smile. Because she's wrong. I'm not predictable. I don't explode. I don't call her screaming. I don't confront Ryan or smash his jacket. Instead, I text Amber, hope you're having a good night. We'll talk soon. 3 dots appear. Then, red heart. A heart emoji. Like nothing's wrong. Like she didn't just destroy our marriage. I set my phone down and exhale. Meanwhile, I follow Connor's advice. I don't move out. I unpack my suitcase, put my clothes in the laundry, make myself dinner. I act like everything is normal. But quietly, I make one change. I go to the bank's website and remove Amber's access to the new account I created. She still has access to the joint account. She can see the remaining $15,000, but she can't touch what I moved. I also update the password on our shared cloud storage and download every photo, every document we've ever stored together. Financial records, tax returns, house documents. Everything. Then I wait. I sleep in our bed that night. Alone. The sheets smell like her perfume. Tomorrow she comes home. And I'll be ready. Amber walks in the next day mid-afternoon. She freezes when she sees me. Daniel? Her voice is sharp. Surprised. Why are you here already? I look up from my laptop, calm. I took a different route. She sets down her bag, eyes narrowing. What do you mean? I rented a car. Drove through a few cities. Got back early. I close my laptop. Surprise. She forces a smile, but it doesn't reach her eyes. You should have told me. I would have prepared. Prepared what? I mean, she stumbles. I would have been here to welcome you home. I don't respond. I just watch her. She shifts uncomfortably, glancing toward the living room where Ryan's jacket used to be. I moved it this morning, tucked it in the hall closet. Where were you? I ask, my tone neutral. Janice, she says quickly. Too quickly. Really? For 3 days. Yeah. I needed space. She crosses her arms. You know that. I nod slowly. Right. Space. The silence stretches. She's waiting for me to argue, to accuse, to break. I don't. So. Amber clears her throat. About the flight. What about it? She hesitates. I thought it would be good for both of us. A little time apart. By canceling my flight and lowering my spending limit? Her face flushes. I didn't think you'd freak out. I figured you'd just book another one. With what money? You have other cards. I lean back in my chair. You're right. I do. She doesn't like my calm. She expected anger, panic, something she could twist into me being unreasonable. Instead, I'm just watching her. Well, you're home now, she says, her tone brittle. So we can talk. Work things out. Sure, I say. But first, there's something you should know. Her eyes widen. What? I pull out my phone and open the security camera app. I turn the screen toward her. The camera caught some interesting footage while I was gone. Her face drains of color. Amber lunges for my phone, but I pull it back. Let me see that, she demands. You don't need to, I say calmly. You were there. You know what's on it. Her hands are shaking. Daniel, this isn't, you don't understand. I understand perfectly. I stand up. You canceled my flight. You trapped me at the airport. You lowered my spending limit so I couldn't get home. And while I was gone, you brought Ryan here. It's not what you think. Really? I slide my phone across the table. Because it looks pretty clear to me. She grabs the phone, watches a few seconds of footage, then drops it like it burned her. You're spying on me? I almost laugh. It's our security camera, Amber. The one we installed together. You can't use this against me. Actually, I can. I pick up my phone. My lawyer already has a copy. Her face twists. Your lawyer? You went to a lawyer? I took a different route, remember? I meet her eyes. You wanted time to figure things out. I gave you that. But I was figuring things out too. She starts crying. On cue. I made a mistake. It was just, Ryan is just a friend. A friend you brought into our house. Into our bed. We didn't. It doesn't matter. Amber's tears turn to anger. You think you're so smart? You think you can just leave me? I'm not leaving, I say quietly. You are. This is my house too. Then stay. But I'm not going anywhere. She stares at me, disbelief written across her face. She expected me to pack a bag, to storm out, to make this easy for her. Instead, I'm standing my ground. I'll take everything in the divorce, she threatens. Every penny. This house. Everything. I almost feel sorry for her. Almost. I reach into my bag and pull out a folder. I slide it across the table. What's this? She asks, suspicious. Timestamps. Transactions. Screenshots. Your Instagram post with Ryan. The flight cancellation. The spending limit. The security footage. All of it. She flips through the pages, her face going pale. My lawyer says it paints a pretty clear picture. I continue. Financial control. Infidelity. Abandonment. You can't prove. I can. And I will. She throws the folder back at me. You're unbelievable. No, Amber. I'm done. I pick up the folder. I'm filing tomorrow. You can stay here tonight if you want. But I'd recommend finding somewhere else. She grabs her purse and storms toward the door. This isn't over. Yeah, I say quietly. It is. The door slams behind her. That night, I move into the guest room. Not because I'm weak, but because I choose to. I call Connor. She knows. How'd she react? About how you'd expect. Threatened to take everything. Cried. Got angry. Did you engage? No. I just showed her the evidence. Good. I hear him typing. I'll file first thing tomorrow. We'll cite financial abuse, infidelity, and abandonment. With your documentation, we have a strong case. What happens next? She'll get served. Then we go to mediation. If she's smart, she'll settle quietly. If not, he pauses. Well, we have the footage. I lean back against the headboard. Thanks, Connor. That's what friends are for. He hesitates. How are you holding up? Honestly, I feel free. And I do. For the first time in months, I'm not second-guessing myself. I'm not wondering if I'm paranoid. I'm not walking on eggshells. I sleep better that night than I have in weeks. The next morning, I wake to 15 missed calls from Amber. I don't answer. Connor files the paperwork. By noon, the process server delivers the divorce papers to Amber at her office. She calls me immediately. How could you? She screams. At work? In front of everyone? I didn't choose the location, I say calmly. The server did. You're humiliating me. I'm protecting myself. She's silent for a moment. Then quieter. Daniel, please. Can we talk about this? Just the two of us. There's nothing to talk about. You made your choice. I made a mistake. You made a plan, I correct. You canceled my flight, controlled my money, and brought another man into our house. That's not a mistake. That's a strategy. She hangs up. That evening, I get a text from Ryan. We need to talk. I block his number. I'm done engaging. Done defending. Done explaining. Now I wait. Over the next 2 weeks, the narrative shifts fast. Amber tries to rally her friends, telling them I abandoned her, that I'm controlling and vengeful. She posts cryptic Instagram stories about toxic people and finding your worth. But one of her friends, someone I've always gotten along with, sends me screenshots of a group chat. In it, Amber admits she canceled my flight. She laughs about it, says I deserved it for being boring. I forward the screenshots to Connor. This is gold, he says. She's incriminating herself publicly. Meanwhile, Ryan stops answering Amber's calls. I know this because she texts me in a panic. Ryan won't talk to me. What did you say to him? I don't respond. The truth is, I didn't say anything to Ryan. But Connor's paralegal did. A polite letter informing him that he may be called as a witness in the divorce proceedings. That was enough. Amber's perfect fantasy is crumbling. And I'm just watching. The mediation happens 3 weeks later. Amber shows up in a designer dress, makeup perfect, playing the role of the wounded wife. She dabs at her eyes with a tissue, sniffling whenever the mediator looks her way. I sit across from her, calm and factual. No theatrics. The mediator asks us to explain our positions. Amber launches into a monologue about how I worked too much and neglected her. How she made mistakes, but deserves compassion. When it's my turn, I simply present the evidence. The flight cancellation. The spending limit. The security footage. The Instagram posts. The mediator's expression shifts as he reviews the documents. Ms. Hayes, he says carefully, you canceled your husband's flight home? Amber hesitates. I was emotional. I needed space. And you lowered his daily spending limit? I was trying to protect our finances. By preventing him from accessing his own money? She has no answer. The mediator turns to Connor. What are you seeking? An equitable split of assets, Connor says. And acknowledgement of the financial and emotional harm caused. The mediator nods. Let's take a break. During the break, Amber corners me in the hallway. You're really going to destroy me over this? She hisses. I'm not destroying you, I say quietly. I'm just telling the truth. The truth? She laughs bitterly. You're making me look like a monster. You did that yourself. Her face crumples. I loved you, Daniel. No, I say. You loved control. She turns away, shoulders shaking. When we return, the mediator has a proposal. A clean split. The house sold, proceeds divided evenly. Joint accounts split 50-50. No alimony for either party. Amber's lawyer leans over, whispers something to her. She looks at me, eyes red. Fine. Connor raises an eyebrow. You agree? Yes, she says quietly. I agree. The mediator prepares the paperwork. It's over in less than an hour. Amber signs without meeting my eyes. As we leave, Connor grips my shoulder. You did it. I exhale. Yeah, I did. 3 months later, the divorce is finalized. The house sells quickly. I take my half and buy a small condo downtown. It's quiet, modern, exactly what I need. I hear through mutual friends that Amber moved in with Ryan. Then 2 weeks later that he kicked her out. Apparently, the fantasy wasn't as perfect as she'd imagined. Her friends, the ones who commented self-care queen on her posts, drift away. They don't want drama. They don't want complications. She's alone. I don't feel triumphant. I don't feel vindicated. I just feel free. I book a flight to visit Connor. This time, nobody cancels it. Nobody controls my money. Nobody traps me. I board the plane, boarding pass glowing green on my phone. And I smile. Months pass. I travel for work again, but this time it feels different. Lighter. No more anxious calls home. No more wondering if I'm being paranoid. I grab coffee with old friends. I join a gym. I focus on work, on myself, on rebuilding. One day, I run into one of Amber's old friends at a cafe. She looks uncomfortable. "Daniel," she says. "I'm sorry. About everything." I nod. "Thanks. For what it's worth, we didn't know. About the flight, the money, all of it. She never told us." I figured. She hesitates. She's not doing well. I sip my coffee. That's not my problem anymore. She looks relieved, like she expected me to gloat. But I don't have the energy for that. Amber made her choices. Now she lives with them. I made mine. And I'm thriving. I'm sitting on a plane now, heading to a client meeting in another city. The boarding pass on my phone glows green. No cancellations. No sabotage. No traps. I think back to that moment at the airport, stranded, humiliated, powerless. The moment Amber thought she'd broken me. But she didn't. She showed me exactly who she was. And I chose to believe her. I didn't beg. I didn't panic. I didn't play her game. I took a different route. The plane takes off and I watch the city shrink below me. Somewhere down there, Amber is living with the consequences of her choices. And I'm up here free. She thought canceling my flight would trap me. Instead, it set me free. She thought I'd come crawling back. Instead, I walked away. She thought she was in control. But control is an illusion. The only thing you truly control is how you respond. And I responded by choosing myself. The flight attendant offers me a drink. I accept, raising my glass to the window. To new beginnings. To different routes. To freedom. She thought she trapped me. All she did was show me the exit.